When I first heard about this extraordinary development in Birmingham, the fusing, as it were, of the library and the theatre to create this great cultural resource, sort of geodome of culture, I was very excited by the originality of the concept. It's obvious that the cultural elements of a community should be concentrated in one mutually enriching space. As people who go to the library go to the theatre, people who go to the theatre are interested in art and so on. And it's a great vision, and I'm 1000% behind it. And it means that the theatre itself will have a completely new facade, all the public spaces will be renovated and made more exciting and so on. What's just a little sad is that the absolute cherry on the cake won't be included in that 193,000 million, which is the renovation of, even partial renovation of the two theatre spaces that currently exist, which have both done such fantastic work and are so remarkable as spaces, but they're showing their age. And it seems terribly sad that you'd have this phenomenal, glittering exterior and these possibly slightly dowdy central elements, which are, after all, in the end, where it's really going to be happening. You know, the theatrical art will take place in those two spaces, and of course the new one as well. But especially the main house is the big focus of Birmingham's theatrical life. So anything can be done to transform those spaces, I think, would be a huge addition to the project, and will complete it as it should be completed. I first worked in Birmingham at the Rep in, I think it was 1978, when we did David Edgar's adaptation of Joe Burke and Mary Barnes' book, Mary Barnes. And it's a wonderful book, and it's an extraordinary story, but David made something quite remarkable of it as a piece of theatre. And when you do a new play, you're always, in a way, taking a gamble. You never quite know how people are going to take it. And I remember the first night at Mary Barnes at the Rep as being one of those extraordinary occasions when one knew that one was actually taking part in something which was part of theatre history. Patty Love was giving the performance of her life as Mary Barnes, and Peter Farragher, who directed it, had assembled a wonderful group around Patty. I played Joe Burke, and we knew that people's lives were changed by what we did. It's happened a few times in the theatre, but in that particular space, in that very small space, the intensity of it was almost unbearable, and Patty gave a genuinely dangerous performance to herself. She risked herself in a way that not many actors will, in terms of the emotional places that she went to. And we knew that that play would then go on to have an extraordinary impact. We transferred to the Royal Court in London, where it was altogether extraordinary. This was a very grim time. It was a very, very cold winter, and in London there were strikes, waste disposal strikes, and the rubbish bins were pouring in the streets, and there was snow right up the side of the building, but people had to come, and that started in Birmingham, and I'll always remember it for that.